Welcome to Prism of Torah with Rebbe Saf Aaron Prisman, engaging Divrei Torah, packed with stories and practical insights. Find us wherever you get your podcasts or at prismoftorah.org.
Today, we start lighting the first candle of the Heilige 8 days of Chanukah. This is a very special time, a time we can go beyond nature, a time that's mesugal to ask for anything. Question number one is, why is it such a special time? What's so unique about Chanukah as opposed to other Chagim that we can ask HaKadosh Baruch Hu pretty much for anything and go beyond nature? What is it about Chanukah? Even the Mekubalim know that this is a special time we can reach a very high level of connecting to Hashem. Question number two is, why is it only in Chanukah we have this idea of mehadrin mina mehadrin, that you can do a mitzvah the regular basic way, and you could do it mehadrin, extra good, and extra good mehadrin mina mehadrin. Why is that only shayach in Chanukah? So let's go to the drawing board. How did Chanukah start off? It started off with us, Klal Yisrael, going beyond nature, because the basic mahalach was that we needed to light with regular shemen in the Beis HaMikdash, but the Greeks came and contaminated the oil. However, we know that tuma hutra b'tzibur. If everyone is tameh, you're still allowed to bring the oil and light the menorah in the Beis HaMikdash when it's tameh. But yet Klal Yisrael said, no, that's not enough. We want to look and do our best to find pure oil. And they did, and they went beyond their nature to look for that, and they found it. Although it was very small, the only one that was not contaminated. But because HaKadosh Baruch Hu saw us going beyond nature, so too HaKadosh Baruch Hu said, I want to reciprocate to them. And I'm going to do a miracle, even though we know HaKadosh Baruch Hu usually only wants to go within nature. He went beyond nature because we went beyond nature, and he made that oil last for 8 days. And hence, the intrinsic idea in Chanukah, every holiday has its intrinsic idea to it. The intrinsic idea of Chanukah is going beyond nature. And that is exactly why it's 8 days and not less. Because 7 days represents nature. And usually HaKadosh Baruch Hu wants to be within nature. As we know, HaKadosh Baruch Hu hides in nature. The gematria of Teva and Elokim is the same because it's nature. But on Chanukah, it's number 8, not number 7. Number 7 represents nature. Also in the spiritual world and also in the physical world. We have, everything is 7. 7 days a week, 7 years of Shemitah. We have 7 colors of the rainbow. We have 7 music notes. Everything's 7. But 8 represents going beyond nature. And that is what Chanukah is all about. Why? Because we showed HaKadosh Baruch Hu, we want to do beyond nature. We want to do more than what we need to do because we love our connection with you, HaKadosh Baruch Hu. And that's what triggered everything started from us, that we looked for the Pach Hashem even though we didn't need to. And so too HaKadosh Baruch Hu reciprocated. And that's why Chazal saw fit, Dafka and Chanukah, to give us the option. You can do the regular basic mitzvah, or you can do mehadrin, or even mehadrin in mehadrin, because that is what this holiday is all about, that we show HaKadosh Baruch Hu, even though we could suffice by doing a basic level of the mitzvah, but no, Chazal wanted to give us the option to do extra, because that is what this holiday is all about, and that's why it's 8. I heard Rav Bidelman say that there's a Midrash that says the shemen, when the oil represents Klal Yisrael, the fire that comes out, the flame represents HaKadosh Baruch Hu. What's the connector? The ptila, the wick. Ptila, Otiot, Pei, Taf, Yud, Lamed, Hey are the same letters as Tefillah. The connector between us, Hashem, and HaKadosh Baruch Hu is the Tefillah. And it's so important that we daven and use this special time of these 8 days because we can tap into beyond nature. And that's why it answers our foremost question, what is so mesugal about this time? It's incredibly mesugal because that is the connector between us and Hashem. This is the time that's beyond nature. We can tap into that and ask the HaKadosh Baruch Hu for pretty much anything. And hence, we should use this time. And that's why I want to send this little clip to you because I think it's very important going into Chanukah. We live this idea, especially the first half an hour after we light the Chanukah candles. Yiratzon, that we will all be zoiche to use this unbelievable opportunity of these 8 days representing the number 8, which is going beyond nature, not 7, but beyond nature, just like we did, the Chashmonaim did when they looked for that shemen, and the HaKadosh Baruch Hu reciprocated that with the 8 days of the oil lasting, which was within nature should have lasted only 1 day. That also explains why HaKadosh Baruch Hu made it to last 8 days, not less and not more, because 8 represents going beyond nature. Yiratzon will be able to tap into those Segulot and be zoiche to much shefa, bracha ve'atzlacha, especially in Ruchnis. Have a freilichen Chanukah.
This concludes another episode of the Prism of Torah. Thank you for tuning in today. We hope you enjoyed it and learned something valuable. If you did, please subscribe to the podcast and give a 5-star rating. You can also find this podcast wherever you get your podcasts or our own website, prismoftorah.com, where we have a full archive of all our past episodes. We would like to thank Yona Vefa for the recording equipment and Eli Podcast Productions for handling all our post-podcast productions. Join us next week for another enlightening conversation on the Prism of Torah.